So what's up, guys? Welcome to the StudioDork Podcast, episode 27. My name is Gary, and also with me is
Cameron.
And get ready to listen to what kind of stuff should they listen to?
Some fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating.
So we are actually recording from my room today.
Yeah, it's a little sexy in here.
Is it?
Not
Whoa. That's my mom, dog.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it's just clothes and stuff.
Yeah, there's
A couple
clothes
computers
everywhere.
everywhere. Not really, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty neat, and I have a little. My desk is messed up, huh?
You want to talk about that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I use the Magic Mouse, and the desk is like a wooden thing. It's like a wooden material, so it has a little life.
Yeah, it's like the paint is rubbing off.
Yeah, and cameras never really sat there. Like you probably have like once or twice, but you never really noticed that.
Well, because I don't think it was like this like a couple months ago when I sat
Oh,
here. I haven't really been here in a while. So, yeah.
We haven't been friends for a while.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah.
So you went to out of town this weekend, huh?
Yeah. I went to Vegas. My parents were moving to.
Oh, you helped them out.
They just went to another house, moved into another house. So, yeah, it was cool. It wasn't like wasn't that big of a deal. I just went back, kind of just hung out with them and talked.
Did you visit any of your friends?
No, I didn't really have time because I drove out Friday night and then I drove home Sunday morning. So I really only had Saturday, and I was helping my parents move the entire day. So it's alright. That was fun.
Did you run over there?
No, because I hurt my knee. I pushed it too far.
So you haven't been running
Wednesday.
for a couple days?
No, I'm kind of giving it a rest right now. It sucks, but I figure that's what I need to do.
And it's better to find out now until it's too late. You don't want to like really hurt it.
Yeah, totally.
I actually hurt my this part calf. I think.
Your calf?
I hurt my calf yesterday.
Oh yeah.
In the gym, I was just running on the machine, but the machine wouldn't go up. The machine wouldn't go any faster. It could only go like 3 or 4 miles an hour or something like that. So, but I still wanted to get the workout or whatever because all the other machines were taken. So I did the little thing where it raises it up, so it's like you're going uphill. So it could kind of cancel out the fact that I couldn't run. So and I don't know, somehow this thing started hurting after I did that. And it's not like a muscle. I don't know what it is actually, but it's weird.
Well, I mean, it's something with your muscle, but you're telling it's probably not just like a normal burn.
Yeah, I don't think it's like
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think it's a quick thing, but it feels kind of like weird. I don't know.
It's alright. It'd be okay with that. Just a couple days. Did you
Yeah.
eat banana or something afterwards?
I just got bananas today, so I haven't had bananas for a couple days.
Oh, okay. Because that's supposed to help. It's like if you eat potassium after your workout, it's supposed to helps with the.
This is true.
Yeah.
What about work? Is everything cool at work?
It's been super busy.
Yeah,
they're doing this big pitch for they've been planning this one pitch for it's for something that has nothing to do with movies at all. It's actually it's a site for a certain property that is huge, and they've been working on this pitch for like 3 or 4 months. So everybody's flying out to our whole a
bunch of important people are flying out to far away.
They're flying out to New York to go make a pitch.
It's pretty far.
So. Yeah, so it's pretty awesome though. Like I wasn't involved in it, but it's been crazy because they've had to add so many resources to it. But like one of our art directors is basically they're printing and building stuff in house, like these booklets, these like big booklets of stuff to like give out to all the people, and they're hand making each one. They're like leather bound and stuff. It's really cool. So
have you ever gone to travel too much with your job where you're at right now?
No, I haven't traveled with my job. No, but I'm a lower level designer though. I mean. I'd have to be more like an art director or something, or a creative director, which we've already discussed. I never really want to be a creative director, so.
But I think you'll get to travel though eventually a little more.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. Eventually it'll happen. What about you?
It's been pretty busy at my place too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just everybody running around trying to figure stuff out. There was some kind of panic. Something wasn't working on one of our websites. And there's like a whole process that it goes through before it goes up, probably similarly to like your place.
Yeah.
But something didn't get checked on one of the browsers, and it went up, and then there was some kind of big commotion going on. So everybody was doing that stuff for the last couple of days. Yeah, and it's not really too much affected by me.
Yeah.
But still, it still affects me somehow because it's just like everybody's doing like all the different stuff.
Yeah, 'cause you're part of the team.
Yeah.
So.
And just been working on a lot of user interface stuff still. For different various things. For some stuff for like iPad stuff and some stuff for actual for just desktop as well, like separate things.
Oh, cool.
So that's
good,
pretty
man.
fun. That's going through a couple different revisions and stuff. It's going pretty good.
Have you guys seen light at the end of the tunnel for any of the stuff launching? Because I know that you've been talking about like the iPad app and all this stuff.
A lot of the different stuff that we're doing, there's like it's in different phases. So like a lot of different. So there's like a phase 1 process, phase 2, phase 3. So it's a lot of and it's not like little things. They're pretty fairly large things. So it's just by parts. I don't see a lot of things launching for a while, just because it's so big and complex.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well, that's cool, man. Definitely.
Let's see. On Friday, I didn't write that down though. We watched a documentary. Maybe you know it because you like documentaries. We watched a documentary and we had pizza from Costco.
Fantastic.
And chocolate chip cookies. But we were watching a documentary about the newspaper's dead or something like that.
Oh yeah. It's is it called Page One? I think is what it's called.
It's like from a couple years ago.
Is it about New York Times?
Yeah. Did you see it?
I've seen that one. Yeah,
okay, cool.
It's good. Yeah.
I'm glad that you knew because I actually forgot to write that down. The name of it.
I'm pretty sure it's called Page One.
It has to be because it's mostly about New York Times, and it's that guy from New York, like the guy. He was used to be like on drugs or something, and he became like this big writer from New York Times.
Yeah.
So it is the same one we're talking about. I like that. I found it pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's definitely gives a good perspective, especially because it's a couple years ago. It gives a good perspective on like it actually in the documentary, the iPad came out.
Yeah, they showed that. Yeah.
Yeah, when it first came out, and that guy was like, "Oh, this feels nice, turning pages on the iPad." Like, it was interesting.
Yeah, like even though I think it came out like 2010, but they must have gotten some footage from a couple years before that.
Yeah.
And people were congratulating each other for getting that iPad, similarly to as they would congratulate each other with like some big accomplishment like marriage or kids or something. It was like some kind of huge accomplishment, some kind of thing like that.
Yeah, it was also pretty cool. I remember in that documentary they also talked about subscription plans, web-based subscription plans, to substitute out for normal newspaper subscriptions, and I had never known anything about that, and it's been getting bigger and bigger. I mean,
LA Times is one of the. New York Times is one of the survivors, right, from all that stuff.
Yeah, I think is LA Times.
I'm not sure about LA Times.
I thought I heard something about LA Times going under. But
does it? Most of them probably did already.
I know the building's still there. So I see that.
They have a really cool font.
Yeah, that is a beautiful font.
And I think most of those newspapers all got influenced by New York Times. That has to be the original one, probably.
Yeah, well, in that documentary, that's what they discussed. They said that a lot of places would they'd open up the New York Times, and then they would basically just write their articles based out of that, just write up follow-up articles for it.
And that's not illegal to do that.
No,
because you're just saying your opinion. You're kind of, and you're like using unless you're using their exact word for word, it's pretty legal to do that.
Yeah.
So
since we're talking about the iPad and paper.
Only since we're talking about that.
There's this app because I've been looking for like a drawing app recently and stuff like that. I know I have a couple, but now that the iPad's been out for a couple years, I've been kind of looking at new apps to kind of like do some drawing stuff with. And there's this app that I found randomly. I don't know how I found it. I think I found it. There was like an ad on some site that I was on, and I was like, oh, what is that? The app is called Paper by 53. The company is called 53. And what it is it's basically this app that it basically turns your iPad into like a moleskin, essentially.
Do you have it on your?
I do have it. I just thought about it. I was like, I guess I should open it.
Show me so people could hear my reaction.
Yeah. So what it is everything, and it's all done with gestures, like the original. So it's like this.
How new is this app?
This app is fairly new. And that's basically, so we have all these little...
oh, that's cool. I like the books.
Yeah, and then you click, and it opens up, and then you just scroll through it, and if you want, it just opens like that. Drawing. But the thing is, that's interesting about it, is if you swipe up here, you have two tools. You start out with the pencil and the eraser. But to do the other tools, you actually have to purchase them. So each tool costs money. And so it's free originally, but then there's these right here, and I think these are $2 a piece, so it goes up to $8.
Pretty intelligent.
Yeah, but the thing that's also cool
they tease you by showing the shadows of the tools.
Well, you want to also watch this, and this is how you get out of the book. You just freaking zoom out. That's how you get out of the book. It took me a while to figure that out, because it wasn't documented. But these are some of the things that they show you that they did to kind of show what the tools can do.
How much is this? Oh, it's free.
It's free, and then you pay for each tool as you want.
I like this app a lot.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's called Paper. I definitely check it out. There's another app called Paper, but you want Paper by 53 is the app that you want.
Their interface is very well done.
And also another thing that they do is a lot of apps that are drawing apps. One of the things I know, right?
That's awesome.
A lot of the drawing apps that actually are available now. What they do is they do a lot of things where, like, when you draw, you have to draw. Like, you have to set your width of your stroke and stuff. They actually do it all based on speed, and you have no control over that. The only thing is, the faster you go, the thicker the line gets, and then the slower you go, the thinner it gets. So you can see there's a little bit of lag on this iPad because I think it's built really for, like, the iPad 2,
I still think
iPad
it's pretty
3.
good.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I've been thinking about getting a stylus too lately. And I've been looking at a lot of the stylus market, and there's this one stylus while we're talking about this. Because most styluses that I've ever seen, they look a lot like, I've heard them referred to as metal sausages, almost. Yeah. Like, they're like fat and stubby, and it's just a little bit hard to get precision with them. So I found this one called the Jot, and it's a pretty intriguing. I remember when you bought it.
You were with me, right? We went to Best Buy.
You opened it in the store and tested on one of their iPads, and I was like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "I have to test it out, man."
Yeah, we're talking about one of my old stylus that I bought like a few years back.
Yeah, you bought it.
Best Buy, I think. Right?
Yeah, we got it at Best Buy. Yeah.
So the new ones that you're talking about, they're getting a little skinnier now, finally.
Yeah. So this new one, what they do now is no, you're good. So what they do now on the Jot. The Jot is this one. So there's this technology now.
Yeah.
They're realizing that the finger isn't like you can replicate the finger with something like a small translucent disc. So what they're doing now is the Jot is using it's like a pen. So it has like the normal tip of a pen, but then what it does, this little disc gets put on top of it, and so you can see where you're going, and it's clear disc, and it works just like the finger. So it seems like it's working pretty well, and I'd like to get one.
Have you tried it out already?
I haven't, but I've read so many reviews, and I've seen so many videos about it and stuff that it looks like a good product, and I'd like to try that. And then the other one I was thinking about getting was maybe the Cosmonaut. But the Cosmonaut is like a thick one.
Is that Russian?
Yeah. Well, it's from the same company that made the Glyph. Remember we were talking about the Glyph? It's the iPhone tripod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the little attachment for that. So definitely check out the Jot or the Glyph or the Cosmonaut. The Cosmonaut is more like a big crayon, so it's thick, but it supposedly has a really comfortable feel to it. So I'll definitely check that out. I'm trying to get into maybe like drawing a little more on my iPad, but Paper is a cool app, but I don't know if it's gonna.
Cool app.
I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna like using it, but it's cool because like you can just keep adding notebooks.
And it's cool because it's different.
Yeah, and
I think different.
I think also is when you draw enough in here, the cover changes based on what you've drawn in there.
You earn the cover to get cooler.
Yeah, the cover will only give you black
Very
in the
cool.
beginning. It's a really cool app. So.
How did you hear about that? Was it
I told you it was some random. I just saw a random ad. It was just on. I think it was on Abazito or something. Like I saw an ad, or it might have been on Dribbble or something, but. Yeah, it was super awesome. I don't know. I dig it a lot. So.
Well, since we're on the subject of blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That was me making fun of you.
Go for it.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You do that yourself. Yeah. So.
Only if I look at you.
Like, have you used any other tablets besides the iPad?
You know, I've messed with the Sony tablet because we've built apps for that at work. We have those. Along with iPads and a couple of Android tablets, but I've also used the Samsung Galaxy. We've both played with the
a little bit, yeah. But you haven't seen anybody who can closely compete with the iPad, right?
No, I mean all the interfaces are getting smoother and a lot cleaner, and it feels like everything's
like they're getting
better.
Closer to the iPad, which is something that already existed 3 years ago whenever these came out. Like they're getting closer to these guys now. So like the one that I was playing with a little bit. On Saturday, the Kindle Fire.
Oh, I've heard good things actually about it.
I think that's probably the closest thing to an iPad.
Really?
As far as just as far as like the way it reacts and how smooth things are. And is that one? I'm not sure. That one has to be Android, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one is Android. It's probably running.
It's
probably running Ice Cream Sandwich actually, which is the newest operating system. Supposedly that operating system is way more powerful than the iOS, but it's just.
They limit it. They only can let it go to so much.
Something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that a lot of the
it's made by Google, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The only real downside to like these other Android things, from what I hear, is they don't update their software like at all. Like that's the thing about all these Android phones. Like iPhone, the one thing that's really good about the iPhone is they consistently give you updates and updates that you need. Android, for some reason, a lot of those phones are very inconsistent. Like my Android phone that I had, it got an update once. I think it got it once out of the 2 years I had.
I remember you were having problems with it.
Yeah. There was a time where like there were super problems I was having with it, and I couldn't get an update. And the only way to get an update was to plug it into a Windows machine, which at the time I did not have a Windows machine. So
good job with that.
Yeah, so it sucked. But that was a really old phone. They've probably gotten a little bit more advanced since then.
And then you went from that phone to iPhone 4S. A little upgrade.
It was a cool upgrade, dude. I dug it, you know?
So, yeah, just the Kindle Fire. Check it out. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's $199.
Really?
And it's pretty small, and it's it's not like tiny like a cell phone. It's something between a cell phone and an iPad. So I kind of thought I kind of liked it. Yeah. It looks like it has a lot of the similar stuff. Obviously Android. Obviously we're big Apple fans and stuff, so it's not the same, but it's close. It's close.
I think it'd be fun to have one like around the house, just to like mess with between, you know, like,
and to do experiments and make sure some stuff works.
Yeah. Definitely,
so
it'd be cool to have one.
Like at work, we have different type of tablets so can we do experiments to make sure like different apps work and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But on Friday they actually had a sale on Amazon, like a special Friday special limited edition. It was like I believe $120 for the Kindle Fire.
Really?
Which is really inexpensive.
How big is the? Do you have?
I don't know the exact numbers how big it is, but it's probably like a 4 or 5 by 5 or something like that.
No, I meant
okay.
Space, like.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Research.
Yeah.
But so if you guys like tablets and you don't really want to spend too much money on the best one, which would be the iPad, you can get something that's pretty good as well, which is the Kindle Fire.
Yeah, there's one of my coworkers when the Kindle Fire first came out, she had an iPad too, and she got a Kindle Fire just because she wanted it. She said she played with it for like a month, and she said it wasn't as good as the iPad, but she still was happy that she got it. So she still has both for some reason. I don't know.
Okay, and it's 1/3 of the price.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So that's good stuff. Last week, though, I mentioned a website where you could easily upload a file where people can get that file real fast. Remember I mentioned that?
Yeah. I remember.
And if people don't know that I mentioned that, I did, and then I didn't know the link. But the name of the place is Droplr. I think that's how you say it. It's DROPLR.com.
Droplr.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool interface. Let me show you. I have it up already.
It works on the iPad?
I don't think it works on an iPad because you can't do files, but you could see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, and when you drag something in there, like on a desktop, these lines, there's some lines in there, they start moving. It's really good, really good design how they have it. So basically, guys, if you don't listen to last week's episode, what it is this website, which will be in the show notes. You just take a file which is under 25 megabytes and you drag it into this little icon, and it saves the file for you and gives you a link, and you can email that to anybody, and they can basically share your files very easily, and it's done in a very fun way.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's good, cool. Man. Have you been using it lately, or you're just still...
I just used it, I never actually officially used it, but I used it to test it out to make sure it works. Yeah. But the way I found it, a lot of people on Dribbble use it, like when they have files and they want to show a bigger file, a lot of people on there use that, or if they want to share like a PSD file or something larger than like a JPEG.
How long does it stay up there, the file, do you know?
I do not know. Good question.
That's the first thing that I would think of, because I was thinking, like, why can't I just use that for all of our brushes and textures?
Yeah,
it's infinite, you know?
A maximum file size limit to 25 megabytes for free accounts. That's what it says here. Okay. I don't see it say anything about things disappearing, but that is a good point, because it can't be there forever.
No way, man.
Then that would replace, like you said, that can replace Dropbox.
Yeah.
But it's pretty well done, though, in general. But good question.
I'm sure there's like something for free accounts, probably like 30 days or something. That
exactly.
It would make sense, you know.
I'm looking at the terms and conditions. I don't see anything about that. If it is something temporary or whatever, they're hiding this information intentionally.
Yeah, well, it still seems like a really cool app.
Yeah, it is a really cool app.
What it could be really used for is like you can upload a file and then like really quickly if you need to, while you're like maybe you don't have access to your Dropbox yet, so you just upload it real quick to get it up there. And then once you get to where you have access to Dropbox, then you just switch the links. You know, like that's probably what you can use it for, like emergencies. So that's cool, man. Definitely.
The Dropbox that we have,
is
that a paid version that we have?
No, it's all free right now.
We're eventually gonna run out, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking about how we're going to go ahead and overhaul.
And we have to probably stay with Dropbox because we're using it. We're talking about how the way we share our content on our site, like brushes and textures or whatever else we're sharing. We've been using Dropbox, and it's really the best. It's probably the best thing to be using.
Yeah.
But if we say we change our mind and want to start using something else, we wouldn't want to do that because then we'll lose all our links that already exist. Probably.
Well, the main thing I wanted to talk about was we should probably, because right now we're using my personal Dropbox, which in the beginning made sense, but now it doesn't make so much sense because we have something like 60 brushes and textures combined, you know? And
you can change that to make that the StudioDork one too. Like it's a little in the settings. There's a thing to change that.
Yeah.
And then you could recommend another one, and then you just open up another one. Or unless you have recommendations already, huh?
I don't know.
You know when you recommend, like we mentioned this, but when you recommend somebody like, hey, check out Dropbox, and they sign up, then you get 250
megabytes. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about doing that, but I was thinking about actually making a StudioDork one and then just spending a weekend changing links.
Whoa.
I mean, I figure it's...
I think it would be easier to convert yours into the StudioDork and you just make a new one than changing all the links.
We could do that too.
Then you would have to...
No, of course.
This is a smarter way to do it, trust me.
But I was just, thinking...
No, it's good though. Makes sense.
But it's cool. We'll go back to the Kindle for a second. So the Kindle actually, it's only 8 gigs of internal storage, but they also have free cloud storage, and I'm sure you'll have access to the G Drive, Google Drive when it comes out.
That's about to come out too.
Yeah, and it's a 7-inch multi-touch display. So it's not bad either. It's 1024 by 600 at 169 DPI. It's not bad, you know.
1024. Say it again.
1024 by 600. So it's smaller than the iPad, but it does have pretty good resolution.
How much?
Actually, 169 PPI. I think the current
pretty good.
iPad 1, I think, is actually what is it?
I thought it was 72.
I think it's actually just a little bit higher, to be honest with
really?
you. Yeah, I'm not
like 96 or something.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit higher, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't compete with the iPad 3, but you know, it's definitely still. I think that especially if you're like trying to get a tablet for like maybe your kids, like you don't want them to be carrying books as much, that's a good price, dude. $200.
That's a really good price.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Can you imagine that, like 4 or 5 years ago, having like something that you can actually carry and move something with your fingers and all that stuff? It's crazy. Now it's just like a normal common thing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and I mean, and right here actually, I'm looking at the Kindles. Like, you can even get a Kindle for $79, the original one. So
and that one
for books, man.
Yeah, that one's supposedly the best one to be reading stuff in the sun.
Yeah, because it has like a little glare-free screen or whatever, and that one has like the most realistic looking digital paper. Like it looks like real paper supposedly. That's interesting. I'm glad that you brought up the Kindle. That was a good topic.
Yeah, just because I used it actually on the weekend, and I just thought it'd be cool to talk about that. Just because there's people interested in tablets, and they don't want to spend that much money. They just want to have it for like simple stuff, like just browsing the web or maybe reading a couple things and maybe playing a couple simple games.
Okay, yeah, that was cool, man. While we're on technology, I was looking through some stuff today. Did you hear there's an app that everyone uses, one of the first apps for the iPhone, a third-party app? No? Yeah. Well, I'll
talk about that.
Okay, I was going to say, we can talk about that, but Shazam? You know what Shazam does, right? Yeah. That's the music. You turn it on, and it will automatically listen to music that's playing.
But the other one's way better. There's that other one that's way better.
Wait.
Shazam upgraded?
Shazam, this is the paid version. Because the free version will probably get this because it's just an update, but the new 5.0 update for Shazam, now they're saying that there's some new little features like when you turn on, it automatically starts detecting the song so that it does it quicker, and then they also said that it's a second faster loading, but those are the small ones. The big one is now it can detect and identify TV shows and commercials, which I think is amazing. That's like really cool. Really crazy. And the funny thing about that, I don't know I was listening to some podcast and they were talking about, there's a patent out there that, I don't know who has it, Samsung or someone has it, for identifying objects in video. So like, if a video is playing, it will detect like that's a shirt, and that's a blue shirt, or that's a red bike, and that's... Or
if you have like a sound effect, like how's that sound effect made exactly? Oh, they used horns and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So people that are doing like sound engineering, that could be useful stuff for them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, can't remember who actually has that technology, but this is close to it, and this is all audio. that other one is video, where it actually scans the screen of the video.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I just thought this was crazy. Shazam is pushing the boundaries, and I don't use the paid one, but I might actually just because it's kind of a cool app.
I was using Shazam, a couple different things, like I would just be driving to different things or whatever, and there'll be music playing on the radio, and I like the song, who's playing, and I'll just turn Shazam, and it'll tell me the song, and I'll keep it in my phone, and I can just hear the song later. Yeah. But then after you use it, I think 5 times, and it tells you you've run out of your free reviewing the song thing. So I have to wait like another month to get it, and then I started using SoundHound.
SoundHound, yeah.
And that one's better.
I like it
because that one shows you the lyrics too before they happen.
Oh really?
Yeah, that one has a thing where it shows you the lyrics of the song and then shows you them before they happen or after. Like you can put the order. So you can do like what's that thing when you go on the bar and you start singing?
Karaoke?
You can do karaoke almost because you could turn the volume down and just have the thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That is cool. You know, I haven't used it very often. Usually, like when I'm like at a restaurant or something, there's a song playing. I'll just be like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
You know, that's usually when I use it, but. It could be helpful. I mean, if you turn that app on while a TV show's on, have you ever had it where you're like watching TV and then a commercial comes up and you're like wondering, what was I watching again? And then I've had that a couple times.
I only use it for radio, and it only really works pretty well when there's no interference, when it's just the thing itself.
Mm-hmm.
Those
you want to talk about Instagram, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I think Instagram just came out with because before it was just exclusively for the iOS, right? Mm-hmm. And now you can have it on Android as well, so it's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, it is kind of a big deal. It's funny at the office people were talking about that because my art director, I told you when my art director came back from that Future of Web Design conference, that Instagram, the guy that created Instagram was there, and he was doing tons of stuff, like talking about all this stuff and all this new stuff that he was trying to put into Instagram. And it's interesting that he decided that this Android thing happened because when he was at that conference, it seemed like the dude was only talking about iOS, like he wasn't even alluding to anything coming out on Android. So, but it makes sense, you know, because it's a huge part of the market.
Yeah, you get a larger demographic. You get a whole nother market.
Yeah, and that guy's super duper smart. The guy is super duper, man. But yeah, man, it's good for the Android user. So if you got an Android device with a camera,
there it is.
Check it out. Get Instagram.
So I got the Dre headphones like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
I took them back and got the ones with the wire.
Why? What was it?
So the ones that I had before were the wireless, the Bluetooth ones, which were really good and everything. But the thing is that I'm really picky with my stuff.
Yeah.
So the headphones were a little heavy for me to have them on my head like for 8 hours or however long.
Okay.
Like while I'm working, it would start hurting my ears. It would be like a little bit too much pressure. That could just be me, or that could be the headphones. I'm not sure. My head is pretty big.
Well.
Compared to like regular heads, right?
Yeah, totally. You got a giant head.
I don't know about giant, but I think my head is above average or whatever. So I don't know, or maybe my ears are sensitive or whatever. But it would start hurting my ears a little bit.
Well, I can tell you that most of the time, if you don't wear cans or the earphones that go around your head, it'll hurt your ears for the first, like mine, they hurt my ears for like the first month, but now my ears have just gotten used to them. So it's a good possibility you just weren't used to it. So. But how are these new ones?
These new ones are not perfect. They still have a little something, but they are better. They're lighter. The other ones were way heavier, probably double.
It makes sense because all the technology was in like that one ear, so you had like.
No, they were pretty evenly heavy on both sides.
No, I just mean like they were both. That's a lot of stuff to be in one big thing.
Yeah. So the other ones were They were Bluetooth. So like you're saying, the technology was probably heavier and stuff because of that. And this just has a regular wire. So.
Yeah.
You know, this thing also has. So the ones that I got, I think these are called the Solo, right?
Yeah, the smaller ones.
They're actually it ends up being the same size, but they have this thing, which is the same thing that comes on the iPhone, which you could speak into and all that. But this is really way better quality than the one that the headphones that comes with the iPhone.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. And then they also have the other one, which are like the $300. So these are like $200 ones, and then the wireless ones are the $280, I think, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then they have the $300 ones and they have the $400 ones, which are real professional ones. But they don't have the speaker built in and they don't have the volume control, which I wanted as well. Plus, those other ones were pretty heavy too, and I didn't want to spend that much. Even though these ones are pretty expensive, but it's something they're using a lot. So, so yeah, that's the situation. So I took it back and got these, and now I'll try this out. I have like 14 days or whatever to try it out and see if I like it. So I just took it back on Sunday.
Well, that's good. Cool, man.
So we'll see what happens with that. For now, it feels like it's been a little bit better.
Alright. Well, I would tell you definitely, like, if they start hurting your ears, just, you gotta kind of tough it out for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because mine hurt my ears a lot in the beginning, and then I just toughed it out, and now my ears are so used to it, it's, like, not even a big deal. I think it's just because you're not used to your ears being pushed into your head, you know? It makes
I wear hats
sense.
sometimes.
Yeah, but do you put your hat over your ears?
Sometimes.
Really?
Depending on the style at that moment.
Okay. Alright, well, you know, different strokes for different folks. Right?
It's a family show.
What?
Hey!
You never heard of the band The Strokes?
No,
Pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, Facebook. Big deal. Remember we were talking about Yahoo and Yahoo suing Facebook for patent, and how the whole like Silicon Valley is all like against Yahoo now? Well, Yahoo might be in worse trouble than they thought.
Really?
Because Facebook now is countersuing Yahoo, saying that, no, Yahoo, you stole our 10 patents, and now Yahoo might be in more trouble than they thought, because Facebook's got a lot of power behind them, especially because now the internet is all on Facebook's side. So I think it's looking pretty bad for Yahoo right now.
They better sell to someone.
They either better sell, or they better just do something. I don't know, man, but...
So I'm gonna lose all my emails?
I guess, man. It's not looking good, but, you know, it's... a lot of... There's this one company, I brought it up before, called Y Combinator or something. It's a think tank. It's just been getting huge these past, like, couple months. I don't know, like, they've been making a lot of predictions, and they've been testing a lot of big theories, and they actually made a prediction on the Yahoo case, saying that Facebook will probably win, and most likely what will end up happening is something with Yahoo, where Facebook will end up just, like, absorbing Yahoo, where they will sue them, and then eventually Yahoo won't be able to pay them, so then Yahoo will just absorb into Facebook. What do you think of that? So then, all of a sudden, think about it on that end. Now, would Facebook absorb their mail, all their mail stuff, and then it would become almost like Google?
Yeah, probably.
That's pretty crazy if you think about it. Like, and that's just speculation by that company, but a lot of their predictions have been coming true because they have some of the greatest minds of this like generation.
Definitely.
You know, so I just thought it was interesting that they were countersuing.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Good information.
I know. Well, you know, we got a little bit of time sometimes. You know.
Must be nice.
No. Well, I do like 5 minutes at work or something, and then also what I do is I send it to people on AIM. So like, I'd be like, "Is this cool?" And people would be like, "Oh man, I didn't even know about that." I'd be like, "I'm putting that down, man."
No, that's cool. So you get votes and seeing like the level of how cool your topic is.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. So
nice.
That's how I've been doing it.
So have you been using CS6 Photoshop?
I have not had a chance to use it because I'm kind of burnt out on design right now. I've been a little bit burnt out because at work I've been doing a lot of the same projects over and over, and it's just feeling very monotonous. So I've been trying not to design when I'm home, but I've been thinking about getting into it a little bit. But speaking of CS6, while we're on it, did you see Abzito played an April Fool's joke? You saw that one where they had the video tutorial, and he's like, "This is my first video tutorial," and then it was a Rickroll. I was kind of disappointed when I saw it, but at the same time, I couldn't help but laugh. And I had to get fully Rickrolled, so I watched the entire video, even though I knew what was going on.
He also did a tutorial in CS6, too.
No, I know. He's been doing a couple tutorials.
Yeah, he did a couple. They're on Dribbble and they're on his side, too.
Yeah, he's smart. That's what he does, man. So, you know what's funny, too?
Talk of it?
Yeah, that hasn't gone up yet, but... We can announce it, yeah, why not?
No,
it doesn't go until next week.
The article for Dork of the Month is coming out soon, and it might be somebody we just talked about.
Yeah, you know, he does a couple things, rickrolling people and stuff.
But, speaking of CS6, have you seen anything else with CS6 besides Photoshop?
No, why? Is there anything
A couple little things here and there, but I saw and we should probably include that in the show notes, but if you go to
Adobe's website? Adobe.com?
If you go to Adobe's website.
Yeah.
But it's, I think it's tv.adobe.com.
Okay. That's where they have, like, most of their tutorials, I think.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things on there, but there's a little sneak peek of Illustrator CS6.
Really? Nice.
And there's this new tool. First of all, they didn't even mention this or they didn't talk about this or anything like that, but it looks from the lady showing stuff about this tool that I'm about to talk about, but the interface of Illustrator looks the same as the new interface of Photoshop. So it looks like they went dark with that one too.
Oh, good.
So I really like the new interface. I've heard people complaining about it too already. Yeah. Which is doesn't make sense because you can
haters gonna hate.
You could just bring it back to the normal one.
Yeah.
You have 6 choices or whatever. So yeah, CS6 Illustrator looks like it's gonna be a dark interface as well, but the tool that she's using is pretty cool. I think you might like it.
Okay.
It's you're able to create patterns on the fly.
Really?
Yeah, so like a pattern creator, but on the fly. So now there'll be like a new tool where you can do that. and I have like a picture. So it's actually if you go to Adobe tv.adobe.com, they'll be on there, and you can find that link. But we'll include it in the show notes. You can find that. It should be in there. But this is. You could like see it already. This is the interface of Illustrator. You can see it's darker. And this tool right here. So she took this one leaf and she's moving it, and she does an example of like how you can actually make real patterns in real time.
Oh, so it basically stamps all the stuff behind it, and then you can warp it and change it, and it will change on the fly?
Yeah, it'll change all of them. It'll
Cool.
change all of them simultaneously.
So it's almost like it's a smart object at that one moment, but it's real-time smart object.
But it's a smart object that affects all the other things around it. It's pretty awesome.
That's what they need to add into Photoshop. A real-time smart object where it opens like a semi-window on the side and you can change this. That'd be awesome.
What? Say it.
Like, you know, like smart objects where they like update and it'll update all of them at once. But you have to double-click, it goes into another thing. If there was a way for them to make like a smart object, but what it does is you click into it and it will pop up like a window that just gives you tools, and you change it on the fly, so it will change in your actual document. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Instead of having to save and go between them, maybe just do it on the fly. I was just thinking like that might be cool. But that's something way in the future, like CS9 probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the other one you can have them both open. Just press Command S and it'll update right away as soon as you save it.
No, I know. I'm just thinking of a way.
Like you could do it completely in real time.
Yeah, exactly. So like if I move something, I see it move in my document as well. So.
Yeah, that could be cool. Also, I saw a little sneak peek in the same place. If you go to tv.adobe.com, you can see there's a Dreamweaver CS6 little example. There's going to be a new thing in Dreamweaver. This you're going to like too. For sure you're going to like this. It's going to be called Fluid Grid Layouts.
Oh, nice.
So, I think from what this guy was talking about, it's going to be like a custom thing. I don't know if it's going to be CSS or how it's going to work exactly. It makes sense for it to be with CSS or multiple CSS, but it'll detect if you're on a mobile device, if you're on a tablet, or if you're on a desktop, and it'll change depending on that. Like there'll be a thing already built in Dreamweaver that will adjust depending on your device. So
while you're building it out, it will automatically build out separate style sheets or something?
I don't know exactly how it does it because he didn't go that far in explaining, but I'm thinking it probably will either do some separate style sheets or some JavaScript or something. Something in Dreamweaver, but it's already made to integrate that too, so it will work. The file that it exports out, it looks like, let's say it's an HTML file, and that file will look different depending on your device, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow, that is pretty awesome. Actually, that sounds really cool. Actually, I sent you an email on something like a couple weeks ago about.
I ignore your emails, so.
It was like I think it was called Fluid Grid Layouts or something, and it's basically a site like that. But what it does is it shows like different stages of layouts. And then there's buttons between web and mobile, and if you click mobile, the entire site shrinks to like show.
Wrong guy.
I sent it to you, but I don't know if you actually saw it.
No, I look at all the stuff. If you ever send me stuff, I look at.
I was going to talk about it in one of the shows, but I just didn't because it was all so visual. But yeah, definitely check it out. I'll put a link of it in the show notes, and I'll show it to you after the show.
What is the name? What is it? I don't know.
Like Fluid. It's something like Fluid Grid. I'd have to look it up.
We'll talk about it more in detail maybe on the next episode after I look at it.
Maybe. I think that it might be a little too hard to discuss on the show because it's so. That's why I didn't bring it up the last time. It's so visual, but I might actually have it in my previous notes here on my iPad.
History. You go to history and you find some crazy stuff on your iPad.
All the time, dude. You know how I roll. No,
hey, it's a family show.
It's called a responsive layout, wireframed responsively. Huh. That's what the site's called. We'll talk about it after the show and stuff, but.
There's somebody that I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I gotta find it.
Okay,
I just lost it. Stall them.
Well, I found this other article today that was pretty cool. I didn't send this to anybody, so I don't know if it's that cool. I think it's cool, but so some paperwork and stuff has surfaced recently. Some documents about how Apple and Google are required to help police unlock phones that are confiscated. And I didn't read too much in this article. I just thought it was a little bit crazy that the government has that type of power to tell like the Apple and Google they have to unlock a customer's phone. But it has something to do with basically you fill out like some simple fill in the blank court order, and then you have a judge sign it, and once the judge signs it, they can basically Google and Apple has to automatically open that phone. And I just thought that I wonder if this has ever been done fraudulently. Like, if it's possible for someone to do it fraudulently, like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know much about this article, but I'm just saying, like, I just thought that was kind of crazy, like, that privacy, like, your privacy.
You could do whatever if you get the right court release and the right permits and all that. Yeah. They can do anything, go on your bank accounts and they can really do anything.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that I brought up really was the fraudulent thing. Personally, I think that I think it'd be kind of easy. It's getting easier and easier to. I mean, like, I don't use a passcode on my phone, but you don't either.
Mm-mm.
We're like the two only people that I know that actually don't.
Yeah,
know?
I see everybody has that.
And I don't know what. I guess I don't know what people are hiding. Like, I don't have. I mean, I have photos on my phone, but they're not like bad photos or anything. Like, I'm smart enough to not keep stuff like that on my phone because that is a device that's out in the world all the time. You know, it moves just as much as I do. So, like, why don't you have a lock on your phone?
I don't know. I just don't really have. I don't know. I never really saw a reason. I probably maybe eventually will, but I don't see a reason yet to really need one.
Yeah, I don't know because even if I left my Wells Fargo app open or I was logged in on my web browser, it wouldn't let anybody actually do anything on it if my phone goes to sleep, because when you come back in, it automatically logs you out of those. So I still don't think that it's, I mean, maybe the photo thing, but like I said, no photos and videos.
But even if you did have photos, like, it's not illegal to have. You can have, you know. I mean, there is a certain level of legal and not illegal.
No, but there's an embarrassing factor.
I guess.
I don't know if it's like a matter of legal. I don't think that I'm like sitting there putting photos on there of stuff that is illegal. So, like my bank robberies and stuff I do on the side. You know, that's how I make all my real money.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Why not?
I'm trying to find this. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found this on Dribbble.
Yeah.
This is really, really cool, and you like stuff like this too, I think. But there's this girl. Her name is Dana Tanamashi.
Yeah, something like that. Tanamachi or whatever,
yeah.
Or something like that. Is she Asian? That's what it looks like.
She might be Asian.
Okay.
Or she has an Asian last name. This is her picture. I'm looking at it on Dribbble. But anyway, she does these really, really cool handmade stuff.
I posted some of her work on our Twitter before.
Twitter?
Yeah.
So she recently did a thing for Oprah magazine.
Yeah, I posted that on
okay.
our Twitter. But it's cool. Yeah.
All right. So she did this thing for the Oprah's magazine, and it's all handmade. Like, the typography is 100% handmade. That's her specialty, is to make handmade typography. She uses like chalk, and she uses like real interesting media. So I thought it was interesting. But this will be in the show notes, and you guys could check more stuff out. But we posted some of this on Twitter, right? Twitter.
Yeah, if you're not following us on Twitter, we post a lot of stuff like this all the time.
If you're not following us on Twitter, something's wrong with you.
We're nearing 1,000 followers right now, man. We're at like 948 as of like this recording. So
I thought it was a pretty cool thing to share with our public.
Yeah, these are really cool. And
really cool. And she has videos of a process. Did we include that on an
I've seen some of those before too. Yeah, the videos are amazing.
Yeah, and she shows, like, she'll speed them up. So if it's like a 5-6 hour process to create some of these,
maybe like 3 or 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, she'll put it down to like a minute or two, and she'll show her whole process. And it's a huge process. It's like a lot. You just look at this and you see for like a second or two is just a sentence or a couple words, but really it's like a huge process, and the whole planning and all this stuff.
Yeah,
which I like that. I like putting that much detail in your work a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a dying art, the hand-done typography. And the funny thing is, like, coming from Vegas, there's like almost no hand-done typography. So when I first got to LA, I remember driving through a gas station in Irvine or something, or on my way to Irvine, I think.
Yeah.
And there was this gas station I stopped at, and there was this sign that said something about like pump shut off or something like that. It was done in this like beautiful hand-done, hand-painted typography, and I was so stunned by it. I took like pictures of it. My mom thought I was weird, but I was like, dude, it's amazing. And then I got out here to LA, and like there's hand-painted stuff all over the place. So I think that's definitely a dying art, and I really wish I could do it, but it's one of those things that's super difficult to do. It's just very steady hand.
It's obviously everything takes practice, but it's like you're good at what you're good at. Stick to that.
Yeah, that's true. Why are you trying to say I can never do this? Now I'm gonna do hand typography all day, Gary. Yeah. No,
I'm gonna try out, do some experiments. Actually.
All right, you want to paint that wall right there?
Not the wall, but we can make some brushes or something like that. Like, I'm down to do some experiments. I've been wanting to experiment with some type. Remember we started doing some stuff?
Yeah.
4 or 5 months ago we had. Yeah.
Yeah, we did What's Crackin'. We never released. It's gonna be the unreleased lost What's Crackin' typeface that we designed but never did anything with.
What happened with our winner of our thing? Of our
I Twittered and emailed multiple people, and I didn't
Nobody wants our junk?
Nobody got, and I didn't get a response from 5 people.
Nobody wants our prizes?
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, we'll just save it for the next contest.
Okay.
Because I emailed out for 5 different people, so I'm just like, alright, well, if no one wants it, then let's wait. So,
there's a CD in there.
I know. We got a lot of those CDs now. We should just do a CD giveaway where we just give away like a CD a week.
So the 3 listeners, both our moms will win everything.
Yeah, that's funny too. When I was visiting my mom and my sister, they kept bringing up like they know the show, so like they'll bring up like funny little jokes to be talking about.
But the thing is that's like, because you know that's your family, so
Yeah.
they probably miss you and stuff. And this is
That's the reason,
this
yeah.
is a way that they can actually hang out with you and stuff,
I
which is
know.
good. That's cool.
And my stepdad was pretty pissed that I called him 65. He's not 65. But yeah.
So how old is your stepdad?
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Oh, you're gonna get him more pissed. You better apologize on public radio.
Nah, that's good. That's good.
We're public radio now?
Yeah, we are PPR. Or no.
TM.
Yeah.
But, okay, so lastly, I wanted to also bring this last topic up, which is it's not a big deal, but there's a website called Mix. I think I might have mentioned this to you a few years ago, see if you remember. It's mixtapewall.com. And mixtapewall.com.
Mixtapewall.com.
Uh-huh. And they have like different mixtapes, like hip hop, rap, and stuff like that. But the point of that website, it's creations of covers that people do, and they a lot of different people submit different album covers.
Oh yeah.
They're kind of like amateur and underground. I think I showed you this a few years ago.
Yeah, dude. 'Cause did you submit?
I never submitted it.
Oh, okay.
I never did, but that's a good. Maybe I
did.
should have. Yeah, good
Yeah,
idea.
why not?
I never submitted that like anywhere.
Yeah.
The one I did. Yeah. So check that out if you guys like all that type of stuff. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of pretty good designers on there. A lot of underground stuff too.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So mixtapewall.com.
Mixtapewall.com.
Alright.
Check it out. Hopefully it's something that people haven't really heard too much about.
Yeah,
something
maybe
new.
you've designed cool mixtapes. Throw them up there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Fun. Yeah, fun stuff. Well, that's probably the end of the show.
Take 'em out.
So we're pretty much done. So definitely check us out on Twitter. Like I said, we're coming up on 1,000 followers. So check us out at StudioDork on Twitter. Facebook at facebook.com/StudioDork. You can also check us out on Google+. Don't have a good link for that yet, so you just click the Google+ symbol above or just search. I bet you if you just search StudioDork, it will probably be one of the first things, because what I've heard before and what I'm finding out more and more is Google Plus is the hard line into SEO. Anything you post on Google Plus goes right into like your 6-pack right away. Like, it's so crazy how fast it just picks your stuff up. So
which totally makes sense.
Yeah,
For Google, they want people using it.
Yeah, so
there's been a lot of ads. Speaking of that, a lot of ads for Google Plus.
I've been noticing
on
that
TV
too.
and movie theaters a lot, and I don't know. You don't really see Facebook making ads. Hey, come check out Facebook, right?
I don't think Facebook has to though. I feel like Facebook's so big.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, yeah.
These guys are.
Well, Google also has the money to do so. Which I saw a video the other day. Google has a self-driving car for blind people now, and there was a video out there testing it. I'll post it in the show notes.
It's not even for blind people; it's for regular people too. That's existed. I remember that coming out, the prototypes a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So if you're drinking while the car's driving you.
That's true. That might work too. I know they're more pushing for like somebody that can't do something though.
No, yeah, but this is the article that I was hearing a couple years ago. Was like, would it be a DUI situation if you're drinking while the car's driving you? You're not driving it, so it was like controversial and
because you're sitting in the driver's seat probably still. Huh, I don't know. That's interesting. We'll have to. I'll look that up, dude. That's cool. But I just saw that video randomly and I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then I sent it around work and everyone was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, that's why I said bring it up. So and my work is my cool fact. That's how I figure stuff out. But back to where they can catch us. You can catch us at the. You can catch us at the YouTubes. At the YouTube. YouTube.com/StudioDork. You can find all of our shows on there, including this show. If you're listening to it on our site, it's probably being played through YouTube. But also, if you don't like YouTube or you just prefer to have it where it's more of a subscription-based thing that goes right to your iPod or iPhone or Apple device of some sort, you go to iTunes and search StudioDork Podcast. And while you're there, just review us. Give us 1 to 5 stars. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just like the feedback. So, yeah. So, take us out, Gary.
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us from my room. We appreciate
Live from Gary's room.
We appreciate everything, and yeah, thanks for sticking with us. And we'll see you guys next week. or in a few minutes if you want to listen to the next episode if you're listening too late.
Or stay for the after show.
Or stay for the after show. There's always an after show.
Yeah.
Wait, don't leave.
Yeah.
Don't change the podcast. Like channel?
Yeah,
don't change the podcast.
Yeah.
Alright. Thanks guys. See you later.
I was waiting for us to scream.
No, you scream now. Be me, be me. You be me, I be you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Cameron, I run.
I'm Gary, you. That's all I got.
I talk like that?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, your family's listening. You make me look bad.
I gotta make you look bad all day, man.
All day, day?
All day, day.
But yeah.
You haven't heard that episode yet, never mind. I've meant to send it to you. Episode 26 is ready to go. But I finished it Sunday and meant to send it to you, but I forgot. So, I'll send it to you right now.
How could you in my room?
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's really awesome.
Just a lot of yas and, you know.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
I saw, what movie did I see?
You saw a movie this weekend? Besides Page One?
No, I saw something just like, I was resting this weekend, so I went out of town and rested a little bit, so I relaxed.
Anyway?
Different places out of town, relaxed a little bit and stuff like that.
That means you didn't
go.
Hey, fool, why did you say that?
Yeah, so, whatchamacallit? Yeah? So I watched, what did I watch? What's the name of the movie? I watched the one where the guy has to wear green and a green mask. You know this stuff, Mr. Comic Book?
Oh, you're talking about Green Lantern.
With the ring?
Yeah,
Green Lantern. It wasn't very good.
No, I know the visual effects are pretty good on that.
Yeah.
But I was not. My uncle worked on the visual effects for that movie too. So, but yeah, I know. And there's a lot of I have a lot of production stories behind that my uncle told me of why it's not very good. It's basically like the director he didn't know what he wanted, so like they were pushing so hard, and they were actually working 7 days a week, around like 10 to 12 hours a day for the last like 4 or 5 months of that production, because it was just so like they were flip-flopping so much on like what the director wanted, and so it was a nightmare. So my uncle told me that they always blame visual effects for the reason stuff flops. So it's the first place they go is visual effects, which I think is interesting, but you know.
Alright guys, well thanks for listening to trust the director of Green Lantern? No, I mean, I was just watching it just because I haven't seen it. I like comic book movies. Yeah, I do too. I like all the X-Men. Those are so cool. Mine's X-Men 3. Definitely. I think I remember liking that one. I don't remember, but I think I remember liking it. I think I remember liking all of them. I don't know, the Dark Phoenix Saga is a really amazing saga, and so that one was basically encompassed Dark Phoenix Saga, but it wasn't very... Okay, I didn't see the real thing is like you know the real story. Yeah, I've read and that's the reason Dark Phoenix Saga was amazing in the comics, but in the movie it wasn't very good. So, but yeah, what else happened this weekend? Oh, you know what happened this weekend? My friend is filming a movie, and he asked me to do narration for it, so do voiceover narration for a movie. Is it a real movie? It's an independent movie, obviously. So I don't know how hard it is, but he just mentioned that he wanted me to do it, so I'm trying to do that. Thanks for not involving me. Well, how would I involve you? You want to do voiceovers too? You said you wanted to do me voice. You know, he wants me to do because I have a deep voice. You do have a deep voice. Hi, my name is Cameron, and I purchase things. Yeah. Thanks, man. That's everyone told me when I was younger. They say purchase Cameron. It's like, oh yeah? Yeah. It was like, that was like the joke. No, it's not. Like, I'm not. That's pretty unoriginal. 501 Levi's. Exactly. Alright, anyways, yeah. Make a whole section of it in the chipmunk. Yeah? Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Alright, peace. Tell him peace. You don't want to sing, right? Let me sing. Okay, that's it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hold up. This is me singing. Are we doing experiments? We're doing experiments now? Explosions. What are you doing?